Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. This week we're going to do a little bit of painting, something slightly different. As I mentioned in a previous video, I love to use a black undercoat. Acrylic paints work very well in thin layers because when you go over black, that gives you your transitions. However, some colours that people have trouble with are whites and yellows especially, because if you go straight for goes lighter the closer it is to the source. Something which a lot of older paint jobs do wrong. Now, with this being a necromancy warband, obviously a black undercoat is preferable. So I have here a Mist-Ghast hair, a medium Mist-Ghast, which is all ghost up to the skeleton of a hare. And again, for all of the armor plates here, I'd like to do a real sort of rusty effect, but for all of the main body and the flames coming off the sword and onto the base, we'd like a nice fire effect. And I do this using three colours: Deathclaw brown, Uriel yellow, and Wild Rider red. Obviously I'm not sure if all these are the standard colours, because obviously everything gets rebranded quite regularly. So what we'll do is we'll just go through, I'll paint the flame effect on this guy. You can see how I do it. Now, as mentioned previously, I always put Painter's Bakery painter's milk into my pots as I open them to keep them nice and thin. But with this heat in the UK, everything is drying out quite quick. So, touch more water. Again, Deathclaw brown is really good because although it's a layer paint, it goes on quite well straight over black. So as you can see here, that's going on nice. It'll take a couple of coats to get a nice even effect, but generally that's going straight on, no issues, as you can see. So I'm going to go on to fast forward mode, get this guy painted, get all this colour painted, and then hopefully by the time I've done all of the basic Deathclaw brown, the start will be dry and we can go up to the next colour. So cue the fast forward. Okay, so another reason for having quite watered down paint is it dries very quickly. Now we could just go straight for another layer of Deathclaw brown if we wanted a highly bright colour. However, I'm just going to do a 50-50 Deathclaw brown using the same bit of the same part on the palette for Uriel yellow. And in fact, just to show you, Uriel yellow can go straight over the top, but so I could go straight for Uriel yellow, straight over the top of brown there, and that is a straight over black, one layer. But I'm actually going to mix it with the Deathclaw brown because we're going to go a little bit have a little bit more blend in, just to give it a bit more depth to the colour. The ironic thing here is we're actually going to paint the darker areas with this colour, and then blend it back into the yellow. Because where the ends of these are going to be, this is where it's all going to be orange at the very tips, because again, flames grow brighter the closer they are to the source. So we're going to go over all that. See, that's gone straight over to the lovely yellow. So more fast forwarding while I put this colour on. Now again, we can see that colour's gone everywhere. I've not been too tidy with it because we'll be going over it again, but at least here we can see this lovely golden yellow, which we're going to go over closer to the centre. So we're going to leave this golden yellow around the outside, and then closer to the brighter parts we're going to go straight to Uriel yellow. Now it's a little bit hard to see, but I've gone into the recesses with this Uriel yellow because that gives us slightly brighter here to what we can see down here. Obviously you'll see that more in the photos at the end. And while this is fine, I am actually going to go up to Flash Gits yellow just to give it another little bit brighter colour right in the centre. But the difference here, because it's a fresh colour, I'm going straight onto a new part of the palette rather than mixing them all in where we've had blending. I'm just going to paint this right in the very depths, just to give us some real sort of like underlighting. Right where the flames are going to be brightest. Now that we've done that, you can see, can you see, if I hold it like that, you can see how much brighter this part is compared to this part. And to follow up, just to give it a bit more of a cartoony feel, because you've got to remember we are still dealing with toy soldiers here, is we're going to take a touch of orange, just go in on the ends, a touch more orange. And again, where we're using translucent paints, when these dry, this will give they'll dry slightly transparent, so they'll have more of a blend to them. We're just going to do the very ends of the flames. It also gives it just a touch of interest. Is as easy as that. If I put that down, you can see, well, can get the angle, you can see we've got a lighter colour here all the way down and out to oranges on the very tips. Now I might go back and give it another, this is where you're colour matching, so I might go back and give the edge a very touch of red afterwards. But all in all, that's the technique. How it's done is, whether you do it as for the Legion of the Damned, or your Nighthaunt would look good with flaming ghost effect. But the thing with yellow is all about your colour choice. Starting with Deathclaw brown, any brown is a better place to start, especially if you're working up to yellow. So I'm going to paint the rest of this guy, and I'll stick some photos on the end when he's done. But all in all, thanks for watching, and remember, have fun.